Hello, my dear friends. Today I am going to read this book for you, How to Speak English Fluently, Tips and Tricks for English Learners, Jeanette Barbe. Chapter 1, Introduction. Have you been learning English for a long time but still struggle to understand native English speakers? Have you been taking English classes for years but do not see much progress in your English speaking abilities? Do you get nervous and make mistakes when you have to speak English with other people? Do you get confused and overwhelmed when listening to people talk in English? Well, this book was designed to teach you how to make specific goals related to your English learning, tips to improve your speaking, listening, reading, and writing skills in English, what resources are available to help you learn English in your own time. It is frustrating to be studying English and not see results. You deserve to learn why you may not be seeing results and what you can do to see your English language skills improve. There are so many classes, teachers, books, and websites that try to give you advice that is the best way to learn English. In this book, you will learn that only you know the best way you learn. In this book, I will provide you with many different ideas, tips and resources that you will find helpful and will be able to use and try right away. Why do you want to speak English fluently? Each person has a different reason as to the way they want to speak English fluently or proficiently. Some Many want a better job and other may want to travel or make new friends. No matter what your reason for learning to speak English is, you need to commit to learning English. There is no magic formula or method to make your learn English in a day. You need to set a goal and stick to how you plan to improve your English language skills. Since each person has different goals, some of the methods in this book will not work for you while others will. The most important thing is that you try. Not that you try once in a while to improve your English, but that you commit to 10, 15 or 30 minutes a day to improve your English. This book is very practical and highly actionable. You will find many links and ideas within that will help you find a way that helps you improve your English. My goal is to help you speak better English by giving you different tips, tricks, resources, and ideas. Who am I? My name is Janet Garber. I run the website English Tonight. http colon / English tonight.com. I am a teacher and language learner. On my website and in this book, it is my goal to give you practical advice, tips, and activities that allow you to improve your English. One thing that challenged me when I was trying to learn my second language was finding information, techniques, and activities to help me improve. I spent a lot of time surfing the internet and finding resources. There were so many, and at times I would get overwhelmed and not know which way was the best way to learn a new language. Chapter 2, 5 Limiting Beliefs About Learning English. Many people have beliefs that limit their language learning. It hinders their learning because they think they cannot learn English because of the belief or thought that they keep telling themselves over and over again. Below you will read about 5 common limiting beliefs that students that are learning or want to learn English have. Many people say, I am too old to learn English. You are never too old to learn something new. It is not true that there is an age limit for learning a new language. It may, however, be more difficult as time goes on, but you are up for a challenge, right? Instead of making up excuses of what you aren't learning. Keep track of what you know or have learned. You could try to learn one new word a day, write a paragraph a day, or spend 10 minutes focusing on English. If you take small steps to learn English, you will learn. Make a list of words you know or just learned. Don't get stuck on what you don't know. The more positive you are about your learning and English language acquisition, the better it will stick in your mind. Number 2. I can't speak English proficiently without traveling. This is not true. I have met a lot of, like thousands of people that speak proficient English and they have never traveled to any English speaking country. They speak and understand English. You too can learn English without jetting off to New York, Sydney, or London. Instead of focusing on what you cannot do right now, focus on what you can. You can learn English where you live if you have access to a computer and are determined. There are plenty of free resources, websites, and classes on the internet that can help teach you English. Number 3. I have no one to speak English with. That is okay. You can learn to speak English no matter where you live in the world as long as you have access to a computer. It doesn't matter if you live in a remote village in the mountains of India or in the jungle in the middle of the South America. You can find other English learners just like you online that want to learn English and would love to practice speaking with you. Many people are in the same situation as you are. There are many language exchange and language learning websites that will connect you to someone that wants to practice English or that wants to learn your native language. With the advance in technology, you can literally learn to speak English without ever leaving your home. Number 4. I can't remember all of the English grammar rules. No one can remember all the grammar rules. Learning a new language is not about learning rules. It is about learning words that allow you to communicate with other people. Your grammar does not need to be perfect or even near perfect to be understood and start communicating. Native English speakers do not know all or oftentimes a lot of grammar rules and make many grammar mistakes. They do not care. They assume that since you are reading this book, you want to learn to speak English fluently. Focus on speaking and listening, not on being the English grammar police. Let's pretend your grammar isn't great, but you try to speaking anyway. You could say, I yesterday banana it, and as a native speaker might say back to you, oh, you mean you ate a banana yesterday? At that point, if you were paying attention, you would have heard what you were trying to say, stated correctly, and could rephrase or re-say what you heard. Yes, I ate a banana yesterday. Just like that, you were able to communicate with someone while making grammar mistakes and learn the correct way to say something. Without studying a grammar book or rules about past tense, you can drastically improve your English grammar by practicing speaking. Stop wasting your time memorizing verb tenses and grammar rules. This will not help you become a better English speaker. It instead will make you insecure about speaking because you are thinking about rules instead of thinking about talking and communication or communicating with a new person. Number 5. I am afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes are good, no excellent. The more mistakes you make, the faster and more you will learn. Everyone makes mistakes all the time. You should try not to get hung up on feeling bad about making mistakes. In my class, I had two very different students. One never said anything, and if I forced her to speak, she would look really nervous and whisper her answer. She was obviously terrified that something bad could happen from her mistakes. Another student that was in the same classroom talked a lot, sometimes too much. His English was far from perfect, but he kept trying. He made a lot of mistakes, but every day kept trying his best and approached learning English as a positive and fun thing. He linked that he could communicate and talk to more people. The difference between these two students is that one was terrified of making mistakes and other did his best. By trying your best and focusing on learning more, you will learn English. If you focus on the negative, like telling yourself that you do not know how to say something or that people will laugh at you if you pronounce something wrong, you are hindering or stopping your learning. Going forward, stop making excuses, telling yourself that you cannot learn English. Learning to speak English is something that is totally possible and realistic. You just need to approach your language learning in a positive manner and stop your negative thoughts. Chapter 3, Your Mindset. Did you know that your thoughts directly influence how successfully you learn English? What is your mindset? Mindset is the attitude or disposition that you have towards something. Negative mindset and fear. Imagine that you are trying to learn English. Every time you go to English class, you do not participate because you think you cannot learn. Every time someone says something to you in English, you say, I don't understand. Every time you think about learning English, you get nervous or anxious and think negative thoughts like, this is too hard or I will never learn to speak English fluently. Many English language learners have this exact problem. They have so many negative thoughts about learning English that they set themselves up for failure. When you have a negative mindset or are afraid to do something, you make up constant excuses of why you aren't, or why you cannot, or won't do something. You start to convince yourself that your excuses are true. If you are fearful, you have unpleasant feelings and feel threatened or like you are in danger. When you have a negative mindset or are fearful of something, you can have some physical symptoms as well. You may try to avoid going to class, doing your homework, or participating. You may get headaches and stomachache before or when you have to learn English. You may also feel nervous or anxious about specific things. When I was learning my school language in a classroom, I would physically get a stomachache and try to disappear. It never worked. When I knew it was going to be many turns to speak or answer a question, I wanted to avoid being all the others. But I had no option since it was a required course. If you continue to have a negative mindset, you will probably not learn to speak English fluently. If you continue to be negative and fearful, you will continue to fail and you will not see many advances in your English language acquisition. Do not let your negative feelings determine what you do in life. Think about what you need to do in English. Do a preparation, write a paper, make a phone call, have a conversation with your professor, go to a job interview. These don't seem like such scary tasks, do they? Ask yourself, what is the worst thing that could happen? Why am I fearful? What is making me scared? Most likely, the worst things that could happen if you do one of these tasks are you could get confused and not understand, you could make mistakes or errors, or you could forget what you are supposed to say. Once you identify what is making you nervous or feeling negative about learning English, you can start to solve your problem. If you make a mistake, the worst thing that could happen is that you get laughed at, have to repeat yourself, or lose points on your assignment. No one will hurt you or belittle you if you make a mistake when speaking English. Next time you find yourself feeling negative about learning English or doing something in English, ask yourself, what is the worst thing that could happen? This should help you work through your fear and negative mindset. Positive mindset. Being optimistic and looking at the positive side of things can improve your chances of learning English fluently. Positive thinking can help you learn to speak English faster. When you are positive or excited about something, you feel good. This is how you should feel when you are learning and studying English. 4 steps to helping you keep a positive mindset. Number 1. Small success. Instead of focusing on the big picture of learning to speak English fluently, focus on small, attainable mini habits or goals. If you are able to focus on one big at a time, you will feel more successful and will be able to accomplish more. For example, you could focus on learning how to say 5 phrases about what you did yesterday. This way, once you memorize 5 phrases, you will feel accomplished, like you actually did something versus trying to learn all the past tense verbs at the same time. Don't focus on what you cannot do or haven't done. Say positive and focus on what you have learned. Do your best. Always do your best. Try not to compare your language speaking skill to other people. This is hard, but if you focus on doing your best and speaking as much English as you can, you will learn faster. If you focus on others, you will have trouble focusing on your goals. You will always be comparing your English to someone else, which is not very productive. It's okay to make mistakes, but know that you did the best you could. If you think that you cannot do it or that it is too hard, it will be more difficult to achieve your goals. Number 3. Try your hardest. Trying your hardest will help you learn English quicker. It is not always easy to try your hardest. Sometimes you are tried. Sometimes you are tired or have other things on your mind, but you need to focus on what you are doing in the moment. By focusing on one thing at a time and giving it 100%, you will feel better and see your result quicker. That means if you decide that you are going to listen to 10 minutes of English speaking a day, you need to stop everything else for those 10 minutes. Turn off your phone, find a quiet place without distractions, and try your handset for 10 minutes to focus on improving your English listening skill. If you let things distract you, you will not be able to concentrate and try your handset to learn. If you cannot try your handset because you are distracted, you will not see the results you want to see. Be positive. Being positive is easier for someone or some people than the others. Smile. Think positive thoughts. Think how it will feel to speak fluent English. Think about meeting and achieving your English language goals. The more positive your outlook and thoughts are about learning and practicing English, the better you will feel. Chapter 4. Goals. It is estimated that more than 2 billion people are trying to learn English worldwide, and you are one of them. The problem is that most will not succeed to become fluent in English because they do not set goals. You want to be fluent, right? Saying you want to speak English fluently is not good enough. This is a very broad statement. When you say something like, I want to learn English, it is very hard to measure if you are successful or not. In order to learn English fluently or successfully, you need to set specific goals related to your language learning. Think about what your end goal is. Do you want to travel to the United States or UK? Do you want to get a job where you speak English every day? Do you want to pass the IELTS, TOEFL, TOEIC exam? Do you want to make English speaking friends? Before you set a goal, you need to decide on one final goal that you would like to achieve. Example goals: learn English so I can get a job at a hotel. Travel around the United States for 1 month. Pass the IELTS exam the first time I take it. Now these goals are okay, but they need to be more specific. By creating a SMART goal, you will be able to create specific goals that in turn will give you the steps you need to achieve it. A SMART goal stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. Specific goals help you answer who, what, where, when, and why. Who will meet the goal? What is your goal? What do you need to do to meet the goal? When will you meet your goal by? Where, how will you meet this goal? What resources do you need? Why is this an important goal? Which action will you take to meet the goal? It is important to set a date to know when you need to complete your goal by. This will help you create a plan or timeline. Measurable. Measurable goals are concrete and specific. You will be able to measure your actions and know if you successfully meet your goal. Attainable goals will be something that you can physically or mentally do within the time restrictions. It should be a goal that is achievable. Relevant goals help you evaluate if they are specific to what you want to achieve. Time bound goals have an end or finish date. You will know if you met your goal by the specific date that you set. Examples for SMART goals related to English learning. Example 1. I will listen to 15 minutes of English podcasts every day from January 1st to March 31st. I will keep track each day of how many minutes I listen to in my phone's calendar. Example 2. I will attend an English conversation group at my university every week for 3 months. I will talk to 3 different people at each conversation group. I will keep track of the dates I attended and who I talked to in my English notebook. Example 3. I will read one book in English every week for a year. I will take notes on new words or concepts I learned in my notebook. I will also write down the title of each book. Example 4. I will do a language exchange for 2 hours each week for 6 months. I will teach the person a language for 1 hour and they will teach me their for 1 hour. I will record what I learned in a document on my computer. Example 5. I will learn one new word in English every day for a month. I will make a list of new words and learn and their meanings in a notebook. Chapter 5. Reevaluate how you are learning English. The quickest way to improve your English and become a proficient or fluent speaker is by speaking. Memorizing grammar and verb tenses will not help you become fluent in English quickly. Knowing a lot of English grammar will help you speak better or more correct English, but it won't increase your fluency. If you have been studying English for a long time but cannot speak or have trouble understanding native English speaking speakers, then you need to think about how you are learning. Are you learning English is best way for you? Most people start learning a language in school or at a language institute or class. Many times people do not see the progress they would like to see and become disappointed and think that they cannot learn English. This is not true. The old fashioned way of studying a textbook and doing grammar exercises does not work for everyone. Actually, very few people learn to speak a language successfully with this method. It can get confusing because no matter whom you talk to or where you look on the internet, there are different ways to learn English. Some programs guarantee proficiency or fluency, whereas others are topic specific and will help you improve one skill area. No one can decide what is the best way for you, especially someone that doesn't even know you. You must decide which course of study will make the greatest impact on your life. In order to learn English, you need to know how you learn best. Ask yourself the following questions. Do I like to go to a class, have a tutor online, or do self-studied learning? Do I learn best from audio, videos, or reading? What do I need to be able to do in English? Speak to native speakers, pass an exam, get a job, etc. How much time do I have to learn English each day, week, month? Do I have the time or financial means to travel or live abroad in an English speaking country? Learning a new language can be difficult, but remember, you can do it. Everyone learns differently, but I can tell you that you learn to speak a language well at least once in your life. That is your native language. When you were a baby and a young child learning to speak your native language, be it Spanish, Portuguese, Russian, Arabic, etc., your mother and father did not teach you to speak by talking out books and making you study lists of words. You learn to speak your native language naturally. You learned by making mistakes. This is how everyone learns to speak. You learn by mimicking or copying what you hear and then saying it back again. Small children make many mistakes when they are learning to speak their first language. This is great. No one is perfect and everyone learns from their mistakes. Maybe you have been going to an English class in your city. Maybe you have been using a textbook or CD to learn English. Whatever you have been doing, try doing something different. Try learning English in a new way or different way. You may not be experiencing success because you are learning English in the wrong way for you. There is no one special way to learn a language. You need to try different methods out and find out what works best for you. Challenge yourself to learn English differently. Take action. Evaluate how you learn something best. What is the best way for you to improve your English language speaking? Pick one new method that you can do to learn or improve your English. For example, watch television in English, listen to podcast, find an online native English tutor, etc. Chapter 6. Language as a tool, not a science. Learning a new language should not be about formulating equations of verb, adverb, noun, subject is equal to perfect sentence. That is the wrong approach to learn English. Learning English should not seem like rocket science. It should be fun, easy, and enjoyable. If you are learning to right way for you, no matter how much grammar you learn, it won't drastically improve your English fluency. I remember when I was learning my school second language, my teacher made me memorize lists of words, verb charts, and grammar rules. This was not fun for me. I hated it. I thought I would never or could not learn a new language because I was so difficult. Learning this way made me so nervous and scared to speak. Do not focus on the wrong things. Memorizing lists of words and grammar rules won't help you to be a better English speaker. It will just make you grammar rule crazy. If the way you are learning English does not feel right to you, make some changes. Plus, I have a secret for you. Guess what? Most native speakers make a lot of grammar mistakes and they keep on talking. They don't even know or care about their mistakes. After learning a language for 6 years, the traditional way in a classroom, I couldn't have a conversation with a native speaker. I was terrified to speak. I could not understand. All I could really do was name off random vocabulary words and recite dialogues and that I memorized. When I was forced to use my second language, I couldn't. I was stuck thinking about verb tenses and grammar and I couldn't concentrate on communicating with someone. The purpose of learning a new language is so that you can communicate with more people. If you speak English fluently, you will be able to speak more, you will be able to make new friends, talk to people, carry on conversations, ask questions, and understand when someone speaks with you. The purpose of learning a new language is not to be a grammar expert, at least not in my opinion. If you learn perfect grammar, it doesn't mean you are fluent. It doesn't even mean you can carry on a basic conversation. All being a grammar expert means is that you are able to conjugate verbs without error. I bet you rarely think about different aspects of grammar when you are speaking your native language. So, why are you trying to make English so difficult? Try using English as a tool that helps you investigate things that you are interested in, a tool that helps you communicate. If you are interested in music, there is a plethora of information on this topic. Not only you can Google the information in English, but you can find websites, podcasts, or online communities or forums that revolve around the things you are interested in. Example 1. Traveling to England. Maybe you are interested in traveling to England. Instead of learning random English phrases, you could visit these websites. Pronunciation tips from BBC. Fun facts about London. BBC Radio. Travel with Rick Steves. London Podcast. Example 2. Starting your own online business. If you are interested in starting an online business instead of learning random business vocabulary, try learning from people that have successful online businesses. Smart Passive Income. Suitcase and Entrepreneur. Tropical MBA Podcast. Foolish Adventurer Podcast. Example 3. Cooking Italian food. Instead of learning random vocabulary about food in English, why not look at these sites? Italian Home Cooking Podcast. Italian Food Forever. The best meat. Lasagna. Verbs used in the kitchen. Learning English should not make you want to cry or scream. Try learning about things that interest you. You will learn more and actually be interested in the subject. Chapter 7. improve your speaking. You will not learn to speak English in one day, but the more you practice, the better you will get. Many people think that they cannot become better speaker without traveling or living in an English speaking country. This is not true. There are opportunities in most places in the world and online that will allow you to participate you speaking skills without ever leaving your city. There are also other things that influence whether you learn to speak English fluently or not. Mistakes. Many English language learners are afraid to talk. Why? Because they do not know the correct words to say, or they are afraid that they will say the wrong word. Don't be one of these people. Don't be ashamed into thinking that mistakes are bad. You cannot get better at something without making mistakes and trying. The more mistakes that you make, the better you will get. Making a lot of mistakes will also let you learn quicker. If you are silent and scared to speak, then you will not get better at speaking English. You will spend time thinking about English. If you just open your mouth and speak, you will talk a lot. You will get practice and you will make mistakes. You will learn what changes you need to make so that native English speakers can understand you better. If you decide to speak English instead of being silent, you will feel more successful. You will feel more successful because you are taking action, though challenging and working towards your goal of speaking fluent English. Thinking about something that you are good at. Did you learn to do it in a day? In a week? Did you have to try over and over again to get good at it? Did you make mistakes before you learn the right way to do it? If you find just diving into speaking right away difficult, try slowly increasing the amount you talk. For example, if you go to English class, you could count how many times you participate or talk in each class. If you only spoke one time in your first class, try speaking two times in the next class. In each class, try to talk a little more. Over time, it will get easier. Find someone to speak English with. Do you struggle to learn English because you have no one to speak to? This should not be your excuse. There are billions of people learning to speak English that would be eager to practice speaking with you. Online, you can find people to practice English with on many websites. Below you will find a list of websites where you can talk to or correspond with other people learning English and or your language. My language exchange, italki, conversation exchange, Interpulse, Lingo Globe, Easy Language Exchange, Verbling, Tongue Out, Cafe, Duolingo, Busuu, Language Exchange Project. Make an audio or video journal. Every day you could record yourself speaking about your day or topic. This would allow you to practice speaking and you could play back and record back the recordings to see how you are improving over time. Even making a goal of speaking for 1 minute a day can help you improve over time. Memorize phrases, not words. When you are learning a new language, it is sometimes difficult to know what to focus on. Many people focus on memorizing lists of words in the new language. This is not a good practice. Instead, trying memorizing phrases or sentence streams that are meaningful to you. So, phrases that you will use often or more than one. For example, yesterday I went to school. After memorizing this, you can insert more words to change the meaning. Yesterday I went to work. Yesterday I went to the store. Yesterday I went to the beach. Yesterday I went to a restaurant. You could also change the beginning of the sentence. Last week I went to school. Last month I went to school. Last year I went to school. When I was 10 years old, I went to school. A long time ago I went to school. By memorizing entire phrases that are useful to your learning, you will be able to speak faster. You will also build a small toolbox that you can refer to whenever you get stuck or cannot think of something you say. Take action. Find someone to speak English to. Talk more. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Memorize one new phrase or sentence. Starter a day. Chapter 8. Improve your listening. Are you good at writing and reading in English but struggling to understand native speakers? This is very common. In order to develop your listening skills, you need to take time to immerse yourself in English. There are many different activities you can do to improve your English listening skill. Remember, you won't understand everything you hear. That's okay. At the beginning, you may only understand 20 or 30% of what you hear in English. Don't panic. Focus on the words you do understand and try to understand the overall meaning of what you are listening to. After training your ears to understand English, you will start to understand more and more. It is not a super quick process. It takes time and efforts you on your part. Just keep listening. You will start to understand more and more words and soon only have a few things you understand. Below you will find different suggested activities that you could do to help you improve your English speaking. Listen to podcasts. Podcasts are audio and sometimes video files that you can download for free. Since you can download them, you can put them on your iPhone, smartphone and listen to them in your computer. Many English learners only listen to podcasts about learning English. This is a mistake. There are many wonderful podcasts about thousands of subjects. Listen to the podcasts that are of interest to you. Take some time to go through the different categories of iTunes and try listening to a few different podcasts. Many people have their podcast transcribed or written for their audience and available to download for free on their websites. The transcript can help you follow along to the audio file while you are listening to the podcast. It will also help you better understand what the person in the podcast is saying because you will be able to hear and read at the same time. English language listening learning podcast. All Ear podcast. Clippy's ESL podcast. English Tonight podcast. ESL podcast. Real Life English podcast. Watch the news in English. Many people have habit of watching the news in their native language. By watching the news in English, you can stay informal and improve your English listening skills at the same time. CNN.com is a news channel from the United States with correspondents around the world. BBC.com is the biggest news source from the United Kingdom. Many of the top news stories have short video clips that can you watch, usually under a minute. One of the benefits of watching the news is the broadcasters speak a few clear and basic English, so it should be easier to understand because they do not use slang or colloquial phrases when presenting the news. Listening to music in English. YouTube is a great resource for listening to music in English. You can also find many songs with the lyrics on the YouTube or on the video. To find the song lyrics you are looking for, you can search in Google or YouTube songs plus lyrics. Other websites such as lyrics.com and azlyrics.com, thousands of lyrics available for free. By listening to a song while reading the lyrics, you will be able to identify, read words that you didn't understand as they were being sung. You can also use the lyrics to help you learn new vocabulary and natural sentence structures or expressions. Music will also help you sing or speak faster in English. When I was learning my second language, I listened to a lot of music. I would listen to some songs over and over again. I would sing along and do the best I could. Sometimes the song was very too fast for me to say. I would get tongue tied, but the more I listened and practiced singing along, the better I got at it. Websites with stories. There are few good websites where you can listen to stories in English, though this may sound childish. Stories are a great tool for learning a language because they are often short, simple, and to the point. On the ESL Fast website, you can listen to hundreds of stories and they are categorized by beginner, intermediate, and advanced. They also have many basic English conversations that you can listen to. On ESLYES website, you can listen to over 500 stories in English. It also has a written transcript of the story to help you follow along. On Rong Chang's website, you can find 200 stories here. They are on a wide variety of topics for beginning English speakers. TV movies. Watching TV or movies is a great way to increase your English listening comprehension. You also can turn on the subtitles on many TV programs and movies and read as you watch the movie. This will help you comprehension of what you are watching. Radio. On the radio, you will be able to hear people naturally talking to each other about different topics. Some radio stations are more casual than others. On some, you will hear the news and about current events and politics. On other radio stations, they tell jokes, stories, and celebrity gossip. There are several great websites that you can use to listen to the radio in English from wherever you are in the world. iHeartRadio, Public Radio. Chapter 9. Improve your reading. Many people that are trying to learn to speak English are good at reading. This may be the case for you and it may not be. It is important to improve your English reading skills as well as your speaking and listening skills. News and newspaper. You can read the newspapers in English on many sites. Some countries have English language newspapers available. If that is something you can access in your country, one nice feature on Google is you can set it up to email you updates or alerts about news from certain topics. So if you want to receive email about your country or a football team or a celebrity, you could set it up so that it emails you each day with an relevant news in English about the topic. You can sign up for Google News alerts here. Books. You can buy books and find books at libraries, thrift markets, and specialty stores. Most children's books are in English. Wonderful, and the illustrations can help you improve your understanding of what you are reading. Blogs. There are millions, if not billions of blogs on the internet. Most are centered on one main topic. You could spend 10 or 15 minutes a day reading blogs about subjects that interests you or interest you. List of popular blogs: Huffington Post, TMZ, Business Insider, Lifehacker, Daily KOS, Zen Habits. Instead of only reading blogs that are for English learners, try following blogs that are about subjects that interest you. You should not get bored with your English language learning. Find websites that you like and increase your vocabulary and understanding of English while learning something new. Magazines. You can access some magazines and their websites for free. Others have paid subscriptions and you can receive or access a monthly or weekly magazine via a password protected website. Some magazine websites that might interest you: Time, Newsweek, National Geographic, People, Good Housekeeping, Reader's Digest, Better Homes and Gardens, Glamour, Parents. Kindle's free books. You do not have to have a Kindle or e-reader device to download and read Kindle books for free. Since you are reading this book, you probably already know how to access books on Amazon. But if not, I will explain how. There are downloadable apps for the most devices, phones, computers, and tablets that have access to the internet. You can read and download books to this app without having to buy a Kindle e-reader. With the Amazon store, there is a section for free books. Some books are already free and others are free for a short time period, usually lasting 1 to 5 days. There is a great variety of genres and types of books that you can download for free. In addition to free books, Amazon has millions of books available for a nominal price. Many books are available for under $5. Chapter 10. Improve your writing. The best way to improve your writing is by writing. You can't get better at if you never do it. Write a journal every day. Try writing in a journal every day. You could write what you did that day, what you are going to do the next day, or how you are feeling. Though this may sound simple, over time you will be able to write even more and many sentences and verb tenses will become more natural to you. Write a story. Yes, I know you aren't a little kid, but anyone can write a story. Your story doesn't need to be complicated nor 5 or 50 pages long. You can write a simple short story in less than a page. Write a financial story allows you to use your imagination and be creative. You could write about something silly or serious or anything at all. Keep your writing simple. When you are writing in a new language, you might try to write same way you do in your native language. Don't by translating phrases from your native language to English. You most likely will use phrases that do not sound natural in English. Try to keep your writing simple. Keep your sentences simple and try to get to the point quickly. By writing short, simple sentences in English, your readers will be able to better understand you. You will also avoid punctuation marks if you keep your sentences short. Read your writing out loud. Reading something out loud means that you read in an audible voice to yourself or someone else. Reading what you have written out loud will allow you to hear mistakes. Your English or your eyes may not see errors, but if you take time to read each sentence out loud, you will hear some errors. You do not always have to write a story. You could write a list of animals, places, things in your kitchen, etc. A letter, a recipe, a thank you note, a to do list, instructions on how to do something, a complaint letter, your opinion on something, a review of a restaurant, movie, or a book. Do you have writer's block? Can't think of what you write about? Try checking out these sites of hundreds of English writing prompts. Writing source English Tonight. Free English with 501 writing prompts. English Journal prompts. Chapter 11. Immerse yourself in English. When you immerse yourself, you put yourself into something. So, English immersion means you put yourself into an English speaking environment. There are two ways to immerse yourself in a language: by traveling to other country, USA, UK, Canada, Australia, etc., or by consciously making an effort to speak English where you live. Travel. If you travel or live in an English speaking country, you will instantly be immersed into the language. Basically, you will do everything in English. You will go to the store in English, you will take the public transportation in English, you will ask for direction and make phone calls in English, you will interact with everyone in English. This may seem a little strange or scary at first, but being immersed in a language and culture is an excellent and often quick way to learn a language. Why? Well, you are forced into a fight or flight mode, which means you can either run home and freak out or try to make sense of the new language and find a way to function. Living in a new country can be overwhelming at first. Not only do you have to figure out a new language, but you have to figure out cultural nuance and differences. Don't worry, it will get easier with time. At the beginning, you might not understand anything or very little. That is normal. Just smile and have a few phrases in English ready, like I am learning English. Can you say that again? I'm sorry. I didn't understand. Can you say that again? Slower. Can you show me? Can you write that down? When people see that you are making an effort to learn English, they will often want to help you and be kind. If they are not, don't worry, just continue on to the next person. Slowly, you will start to hear words or phrases that you will recognize. You will make new routines and learn how to ask for the fruits and vegetables you want at the grocery store or order the perfect coffee. It just takes time. These small successes should feel good. Immersion in a language allows you to learn quickly because you are forced to understand. You learn that communication is important. Once you start understanding more and more, you will become more comfortable. You will start to take more risks and speak more English. It can be intimidating, but don't be afraid. Your English speaking skills won't get better if you don't try. Once you start speaking, you may only answer in one word or short sentences. The important thing is that you are trying your best. As more time goes on, you will feel better. Everything won't feel so new and strange, and you will be able to communicate with more people and more often. To ensure your time being immersed in English is successful, follow these 7 tips. Make mistakes. Number 1. The more mistakes you will make, the more you will learn. Remember, learning a new language is like being a child again. Don't be afraid to say the word, the wrong thing. Try your best and learn from the mistakes that you do make. Number two, listening for words you know. Try not to get overwhelmed by someone when listening to English. Listen for words or parts of sentences that you do understand and fill in the rest of the grey gaps. Be flexible. Number three, being flexible is key. If you remember that you are there for the experience, not every moment in a new country will be fun, but if you are flexible and positive, you will make the most out of every situation. Number 4. Listening, look for language partners. No one knows everything about a language, especially a foreign language, but try using what you do know to hear patterns in speech. You can mimic patterns and listen for rules or repeated things to help you learn the English language quicker. Number 5. Ask more questions and clarify. If you do not understand something, ask a question or clarify. You can ensure you are not wasting time by just assuming you understood correctly. Repeat back what you heard or say. I understood that. Is that right? You then give the person the chance to correct you if you did not understand things correctly the first time. Number 6. No one knows everything. No one is perfect. If you do not understand something or can't figure something out at first, that's okay. No one can learn English in a day or in a month. But the important thing is that you are improving. Small improvements add up to fluency over time. Number 7. Circumulation is your new best friend. When learning English, you might not always have the words you need to say something or express yourself. You may feel stuck and want to give up. Don't. All you need to do is little circumulation. Circumulation is the act of saying something in more words than necessary. So if you cannot think of the exact word in English, instead explain the concept or word until the person knows what you are trying to say. Example of circumulation: pretend you cannot think of the word circle in English. I could say, it is a shape. It isn't a triangle or a square, but it is a shape that clocks and pizzas are. It is round like an orange. Most people should be able to guess that you mean a circle. Traveling or living abroad is cost restrictive and not everyone can afford to travel. If you have the opportunity or resources to travel to an English speaking country, do it. The benefits of traveling abroad are endless. How can I meet native English speakers when I am traveling or new to a place? Some people do not have a problem walking up to people and talking to them, while others feel more intimidated. There are some groups and organizations that could help you find people that want to meet people that are traveling or studying a language. You could try Couchsurfing. Couchsurfing is a website for people that are traveling and want to stay for free. It also lets you get to know a local for free that might be willing to show you around town. There are also forums on the website where you can meet people or talk about a destination without staying with them. Meetup.com. Meetup.com is a website that enables you to find groups of people that like the same thing as you. There are also many active language exchange groups on this website. You can also try to connect with a new people by simply introducing yourself. Hi, I am Dash. Or asking a question. Where is the best dance club, grocery store, coffee shop, etc. around here? The more people you meet and are able to communicate with during your travel, the more you will be immersed in the language and culture and the country. If you get really desperate to meet someone that would be willing to be a new friend, you could try to find a language school. Many people that are learning a different language may be interested in helping you out or being a language exchange partner with you. Learn English where you live. Do not trick yourself to think that you cannot learn English where you live. There are many resources online and in the majority of communities that will help you accomplish your goal of learning to speak English fluently. In your community, you should be able to find other people that want to learn to speak English fluently just like you. You will just have to take time to find these people, but they do exist. You could look for people that want to improve their English at schools, universities, language institute, language exchange, conversation groups. There are also English speaking experts in many parts of the world. Once you find one or two other people that are interested in speaking English with you, schedule a time to meet. Remember, you do not need to sit down for a formal study session. It is best to keep it casual and not too long. You could spend time talking about one specific topic or talking turns, asking each other questions. The important things are that you are practicing English. After meeting one time, you could try to set a reoccurring meeting time, maybe once a week or twice a week or twice a month. You could also plan outings or activities only in English, maybe bowling, cooking a meal together, or playing a game. You could also try reading a book in English and then discussing the book and your thoughts about it in an English book club. Don't have access to English books? You can download free books on Amazon.com and you do not need a Kindle to access them. Chapter 12, Achieving English Fluency. So many English learners want to be fluent, but what is English fluency? How will you know if you are fluent in English? Maybe you are already fluent in English. If you look up fluent in the dictionary, it says to be able to express yourself easily and articulately. Native English speakers are fluent because English is their first language. It is very hard for language learners, to sound like native English speakers unless they move to an English speaking country before the age of 10 or have extensive schooling or exposure to native English speakers where they live. There are different ways to measure fluency. You may find that you are proficient in one type of English but not in other. That is very common. You will now look at what it means to be proficient in social, academic and professional English. We will now look at what it means to be proficient in social, academic and professional English again. The first type of English that you could become proficient in is in social English or conversational English. The majority of students become proficient in this type of English first. If you are proficient in social English, you can have everyday conversations in English, ask and answer common questions in English, explain something, talk to people and use English in informal settings, ask for directions, have your basic needs met. get food, housing, other necessities done in English. Use some slang words or common sayings. The second type of English that you could become proficient in is academic English. Someone that is proficient in academic English may have attended elementary, high school, or university in English. Becoming proficient in academic English tasks more time than social English. This is because there is more complex vocabulary than school English. Academic English is something that is improved over time for both native and non-native English speakers. Each year in school you learn more complex academic skills. Even native English speakers have trouble becoming proficient in academic English, especially since each academic area or subject has its own vocabulary. If you are proficient in academic English, you can cite sources, evidences of a claim that you are making, summarizing and retailing, or retell stories or about you heard, what you heard, paraphrases or reparaphrase what you have heard, ask questions based on text, compare and contrast ideas, write in a variety of genres, narrative, descriptive, argumentative, etc. Analyze stories and author's point of view, identifies strengths and weaknesses of texts. The last type of English fluency is professional English fluency or proficiency. Professional English is English that you specifically use to carry out the functions of your job or career. Each person will have a different subject set of professional fluency. Lawyers, doctors, engineers, architects, and teachers all use a different job specific vocabulary. It is also possible to be proficient in a technical English vocabulary exclusively used in the medical field but have little knowledge of English architectural vocabulary. Each profession has a specific technical vocabulary and each person will develop a different professional vocabularies. If you are proficient in professional English, you can speak about industry specific problems, participate in discussions about common topics in your professional realm, ask and understand questions using technical English vocabulary related to your profession industry. When it comes to professional vocabulary, you may be fluent in one area and not another. For example, a banker may be able to talk about money, stocks, bonds, and investments with ease, but cannot talk about local and federal laws. A banker will not be able to have a complex conversations about laws because she does not work in this field. Also, keep in mind that many native English speakers are not proficient in all technical vocabularies. It doesn't matter how educated you are, you will never know everything. People who are fluent in English can speak English all day, do their normal routines in English, watch the TV news, or listen to the radio and understand nearly everything. Think in English instead of translating everything. Understand English speakers with different accents. Code switch. Speak English confidently. Give a presentation about a topic of your choice in English. Speak on the phone in English. Be understood by native English speakers when speaking English. Dream in English. Use clues to help them understand. Many people base how good of English they speak on their English exam scores, but that is a bad idea. Everyone can cram for an exam and pass it. Most exams are not the best indicator of English fluency. I cannot tell you when you are fluent and no one else either. It's up to you to decide when you feel comfortable using English. Chapter 3. Learning English fluently will change your life. The time and efforts that you takes sorry the time and effort that it takes to learn to speak English fluently is worth. It may take you months or years, but the ways that speaking English fluently will change your life are priceless. New frame and references. Learning to communicate in English fluently will give you a new frame of reference. You will be familiar with a new language, culture, and people that are different from one own. You learn how people do and think differently than you are used to. Having a new frame of reference will help you to make decisions differently. It will allow you to refer to different things you have learned. Learning to speak a new language opens your mind and shows you that anything is possible. Communicate with more people. By learning to speak English fluently, you will be able to communicate with more people, not just native English speakers, but people that use English for work, travel, and pleasure. Since you will be able to speak and relate to more people, you may develop new friendships and relationships. The feelings of being able to successfully communicate with someone that you wouldn't have been able to communicate with before is great. You will feel more confident and won't be afraid to make mistakes. More job career opportunities. Many people study English with the possibility of bettering their life with better or higher paying jobs or more successful careers. By learning to speak English fluently, you will be a bigger asset to companies that you apply to. Many companies are interested in hiring people that are fluent in more than languages. Also, if you already enjoy where you are working, you may be able to get a better paying position or a raise just for speaking English. Make you more flexible. People who speak more than one language tend to be more flexible. They know that things can be said, done, and interpreted in different ways. By being more flexible, you may have more opportunities to do things or learn new things. You might also be more patient and willing to learn and listen to other people. Learning a new language helps you become more tolerant of people's differences and more understanding when problems so raised. Think differently. After learning to speak English fluently, you might have broadened your horizon and learned new information that enables you to think differently. Many people who are bilingual or multilingual are better at solving problems than monolinguals. Chapter 14. Take action today. This book is coming to an end. You should now have some idea, tips, and resources to help you improve your English language skills. There are countless ways to improve your English listening, speaking, reading, and writing skills. The best way to actually meet your goals is to take action. Don't wait. Do it today. You don't achieve your goals if you go nothing. Take a few minutes to evaluate what you would like to accomplish in relation to learning English and then set a smart goal and start working towards achieving it. You have learned what you need to take some action today. Even if it's only 5 minutes, start now. One last thing. If you enjoyed this book and found it helpful, I would be very grateful if you would leave a short review on Amazon. Your thoughts and support really does make a difference. If you would like to leave a review, click on this link, EnglishTonightBooks.com. Thanks again for your support. For more tips, articles, videos, and activities to help you improve your English, please visit my website englishtonight.com.